all around the world.
Yeah.
Come on.
Attention, this is my boarding call. Bags up there against the wall. Step on the flight, be there by the night. Get ready, cause man, we taking off. No doubt this world is mine. Find myself when I lose track of time. No, I'm not new with that. Got my crew in the back, I feel alright.
Take me to my city. Look at the window, it's so pretty. No need to be quiet, I'm making this live, so won't you rock with me? Just step up to the London town.
What?
Look at me now, I shut it down. Gonna make this world my own, won't stop next stop, this party don't go.
1,000 miles away. We don't care what the people say.
We don't care.
Cause love will lead the way.
Let it out, let it out.
Tonight we'll celebrate.
Come on, let's go. In the scene, life is a journey and this is my dream. Doing it for UK, LA, Miami, straight to the Philippines. Every city is a dance floor, traveling the world like we on tour. That's right, I do it for Be More. My hometown, it's all yours.
We're 1,000 miles away. We don't care what the people say.
We don't care.
Cause love will lead the way.
That's right.
Tonight we'll celebrate.
Passport doesn't expire. International down to the wire. All this love got me on fire. Living my dreams past my desire. Let's go.
All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be in this crazy, chaotic, fast-paced, mind-boggling. There's just so many descriptions that I could use for today's world. But welcome to Metaphysical Meetup with Marc live here on the Intuitive Prospector page. I wanted just to give a shout out to my team that's on, making sure that we're promoting positivity on our social media platforms and that we're having fun, just like that song that I was playing tonight, We'll Celebrate. It's a great song. I love that song. And all of my music is always copyright, trademark free, and always approved by Meta. But good morning to my Diamond Hub subscribers. Good morning to my Patreon prospectors. I got a few of you that have joined up, so a big shout out to the newest members for Patreon. I know Chris and Leslie are two of the new members on the Patreon prospectors, because I know not everybody is on Facebook. I know Facebook, as I've been told by my nieces and nephews, that Facebook is for old people. But it's one platform that I do come on Fridays to have conversations, to have inspiring conversations, chats over a cup of coffee, just to talk about what's going on in the world, what's going on in both what is seen and what is unseen, the seen world and the unseen world. And again, there are many things that we do our daily lives on that's unseen. History has taught us from the past, microscope, telescope, the Hubble Space Telescope, the Kepler, now the James Webb. And we're learning more about our universe. We're learning more about who we are as a species, as a consciousness, and as our technology is bringing us up to this awareness to see that, yeah, there are things that are unseen. Things like the wind, things like gravity, things like Wi-Fi, things like the TV signal coming into your television. You don't see it, but there's a signal that comes in. The Zoom room. There's just a lot of things that we're realizing that once was considered science fiction, through technology advancement, consciousness, and evolution is moving into science fact. So good morning to my team. They're monitoring your comments. We want to make sure that we use social media, today's social media, because I'm not really a big fan of social media anymore, to be honest with you. There's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. But here on Fridays, this is a place that you can come. I always like to say unity through community. We like to keep things encouraging, motivating, inspiring. And if your comments don't fit within those categories, or you're here to be like a spam call, then my moderators will let you know that that's not appropriate. And if you continue to do it, you'll get blocked off the community page. You won't be able to come back. And you want to come back on Fridays, hang out and have chats. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, let me just give some shout outs. Hey, Michelle, good morning, Lori. Hey, Wendy, Maria, hello to you. Good to see you all. I was off last week. I was actually working on some legal matters that I'm currently involved with since I've retired from the federal government. And thank you. With all of what I would just classify as just a giant circus, just a giant shit show with the federal government. I left the federal government after 23 years in 2024. And I'm looking at everything that's going on. I'm talking to my friends and my colleagues that still work in the federal government, and it's just crazy what's going on. So sometimes when you go through hardships, they can lead you to things that you never thought possible. So if you would have told me last year that I'd be sitting here today, retired, have health insurance, have life insurance, make an income, but get to now to focus on doing what I love, which is spirituality, which is metaphysics, which is writing books, which is writing articles, which is doing podcasts, which is doing these shows. And of course, working with my tribe, my development tribe, weekly, and my clients that come to me from all around the country and the world. So it's obviously, things happen. And what I would say is don't look back. You're not going that way, right? We always say that yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is the gift. That is why we call it the present moment, right? And we also understand that the difficult roads that we go through often lead to beautiful destinations. And that's what I would say for you today. And if anybody can guess what my shirt is all about, let me know. I'll give you a shout out if you can tell me what my shirt represents. So I haven't worn this shirt in a while. I came across and say, oh, this is a fun shirt. 24601. What does that mean? What do those numbers mean? So let me know where you're coming in from. If you're new to the group, if you're new to the show, I'd love to give you a shout out where you're coming in from. I'll do a few readings. We'll open up the Zoom room. I'll take some calls. I did bring my line up. We'll go for about an hour here or so. Make sure to contribute to the page. Make sure to share the page because that's how you get your badges, is by contributing and interacting each week. I've got a top fans. I've got a most engagement list. And of course, if you are interested in learning more about the spiritual journey, about what happens after death, what happens with grief, what happens with transformation, what happens with ascension or alchemy and changes of who we are. I've pretty much done it all. So happy to go prospecting with you to find the diamond within, but also to find the many hidden gems that are all around us. And there's a lot of hidden gems all around this planet. In fact, if you think about it, most of the riches that we classify as humans, that we classify as riches, come from planet Earth. Plant medicine, diamonds, minerals, oil, money, which is trees. So if you think about it that way, when you connect to Mother Nature, you're connecting to something bigger than yourself. And at the end of the day, you don't get to take any of it with you, right? Because transformation means decarnating out of the physical form, but who you are, your mannerisms, your consciousness, your love, your memories continue forward into that next, what I like to call soul adventure. Everybody has a different connotation for it. Some call it heaven, some call it the summerland, the afterlife. Some people don't believe in it at all, and that's fine. We welcome everybody from full believers to skeptics to atheists to agnostics, because it's all about just the journey, right? We only have one day, and today is that day because there's no guarantees for tomorrow. And a lot of times, like, God, brown spot on my nose. I was like, did I drink my coffee and it brown nose? Because I have done that before, just so you know. I've taken a cup of coffee and I left it with a brown foam on my nose. So, hey, Loretta, Nikki, hello to you. Good morning. Good to see you. So, you know, life is a journey, and it's really important to come back to that present moment. How do we get to the present moment? Power of breath. Just taking that power of breath, right? And there's the spirit world already calling me, and I haven't even started. So let me turn down that volume. There we go. All right, I have a client that's booked, and he's trying to figure out how to confirm the booking for this afternoon. So, but you know, it's the present moment. It's really powerful. And if you think about how many people in the United States alone pass over, you know, you know, in a year, that's, you know, about 2 million a year in the just United States. Worldwide, on a daily average, it's about 150,000 people every day. So if you break that down, that's about 6,300 every hour and 102 every minute, right? So it just becomes the realization that this is what is you're watching with me, what we're visually seeing in our material world. That is a temporary placement in the construct of time. And when we leave and we decarnate, we leave physical form, but the energy in your heart moves on. And that's what we talk about metaphysics. I always remind people, because people always ask me with the work that I do, Mark, where is heaven? And I always remind people that heaven isn't an up or down location, just like hell. I don't believe that hell is an up or down location. I think we create hell, or we're living in our hell right now. But it's really a vibration. So heaven isn't a location, heaven's a vibration. And how do you get to the understanding, the deeper knowledge of that is all around us? I always say intention leads to ascension. Intention leads to ascension. And so your thoughts and your energy and who you are, right? So, hey, John, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So this morning, I wanted to talk about knowledge and discovery, because one of the big things that's been going on is AI. Right now, we would coin AI as artificial intelligence, okay? But one of the things I want you to think about is, are we getting to a point in our history where we have the tools, we have the technology, we have the resources to start tapping into this new knowledge? Because knowledge isn't created, knowledge is discovered. Intelligence is discovered. Now, humans want to always, claim to, oh, I created this. It's like, but did you really create it? Or did you tune into that knowledge and then download that information to bring it into realization, to manifesting, to bring into my reality, right? All these things around me are somebody else's ideas: lightsabers, posters, guitar, this t-shirt, these beads, this iWatch, these bracelets, everything. This is a construct of somebody else's idea that tapped into the knowledge and then brought it into my reality, right? And one of the things that first fascinated me about discovery, we can go all the way back to mathematics, right? Now, mathematics, people would assume that mathematics was created by humans. It was not created by humans. It was discovered by humans. And that leads me into today's conversation about knowledge and tapping in. Is AI, if we go into the future, if we were able to go into the future, take a time machine, go in the future, is AI going to be a construct of human consciousness? And it's no longer artificial intelligence, it becomes higher intelligence. And what I mean by that, there's certain periods in time where we have to reach certain steps. For example, we wouldn't have all this technology without the Industrial Revolution to create steel and iron and transportation and move the horse and buggy to the automobile, to the train, to the first Apollo missions, to the space shuttle, to the International Space Station. So what I'm saying is there is a progression of steps that allows us, but without the Industrial Revolution, we don't have the technology. We wouldn't have, if Bill Gates and Paul Allen didn't take Xerox old code in green screen DOS to write Windows 98, we don't have the code that makes our computers go, which is all based on mathematics and numbers, 1010, right? So throughout history, we have discovered knowledge, but we like to say that we have created knowledge, and I don't think that's the case. I think that We haven't even reached a civilization 1 scale, and there's a 5 scale based on the measurement of the universe. But as we continue to progress, we're starting to not only discover the power that's within us, within the brain, the frequencies, the vibration, right? This is a vibration. This is a vocal cord, right? You're understanding me based on a vibration. That's why I work with sound music a lot, sound bowls, frequencies, therapy, that kind of thing, because it elevates your consciousness. It elevates the brain. And the brain scientists already tell us the brain can receive in many different frequencies. There's been lots of studies on that. And as a spiritualist, I like to apply spirituality and science methods to understand my journey here. Why am I here? What is my purpose? How long am I here for, right? That's, at the end of the day, that's the one bank account you never know what the ending balance is, right? Is time, your life here on this journey. So throughout histories, we've made significant discoveries to reveal the wonders of both the natural world and the universe. And here are some examples just to, as we talk about artificial intelligence, and we know through even how we were created through our DNA, we've now been able to sequence our entire DNA. And scientists had won several awards about maybe 25, 30 years ago to sequence how the DNA strands work. But what's most fascinating to me is if you take the DNA strands and you cut it, you actually access the DNA and you cut it in half and you slap DNA between two slides of glass and you look under a microscope, you can see the Fibonacci sequence. You can see the golden ratio. You can see what we would call the flower of life, which is kind of similar to the lotus flower behind here on my jack back here, right? And so it's within us. It's within our DNA to prospect, to discover, to explore. We're explorers by nature. And as we move out into space, we're going to also discover not only how small we are in the universe, but artificial intelligence over time, just like our DNA code, there's a series of happy mistakes that allows us to be who we are today, right? We call that evolution. Some would agree, some would disagree, right? But science would say, at some point, there were happy accidents along the way within our DNA strand, just like there are happy accidents that happen along the way with technology. And at some point, artificial intelligence will become intelligence. And then we'll have to ask ourselves, was it here the whole time ahead of us? And we just had to have the right tools, the right mindset, the right evolution, and the right consciousness to meet up with that timeline to discover that artificial intelligence is an intelligence that's probably been around for a long time. We've always, talked about it as angels or aliens or extra dimensional beings, but maybe that intelligence is finally starting to reveal itself so we can understand the nature of the universe and the natural world. So here are a few examples just in the research I've done. I'll probably do a podcast on this because I'm just fascinated with this whole concept of AI and some of the things I've been asking AI and some of the responses I get back. And I'm like, wow, I never thought about it that way, right? And that's the elevation of consciousness, the evolution of consciousness. So hi Annette, hi Melissa, hi Denise, hi Anne, hi Shannon, thanks for being here. So today we're talking about accessing knowledge. And a lot of times humans think that they discover this. You don't discover knowledge, you tap in. You don't create knowledge, you tap in and you discover knowledge. And here are some prime examples. First one, the natural elements and compounds of the universe, the periodic table that we today can look back and say, oh, here's our periodic table. And the discovery of elements like oxygen, hydrogen, gold, carbon has been fundamental in understanding chemistry. But you got to remember, chemistry was preceded by alchemy, going all the way back hundreds of years ago, right? So the things that we start to discover become something else, chemistry. Mathematics becomes geometry, becomes higher advanced formulas. Now, I'm not a math major, but I use numerology a lot with numbers, but I really was not very good in math in high school. I took it more serious in college and did okay. But mathematics is interesting to me because we're the only species that measures our life on a time construct, right? To understand the day and the night, right? If we were on a different planet, our days and nights would be different based on the makeup of the universe or the moon or gravity wells or the sun, right? So the natural periodic table is understanding not only the forms of chemistry and how you put certain things together, but matter itself. This is matter. This is a matter suit that has a vibration, right? So when we continue on to what we have discovered, not created, we can also get into antibiotics. Alexander Fleming revolutionized medicine, showcasing the natural antibacterial properties of certain drugs, and also brought forth antibiotics. With if you've ever had antibiotics like I have in the last 2 major surgeries I've had, the antibiotics for infection, helping the incisions, that I have on my body to heal. So antibiotics is a direct correlation to something that was discovered but not created by humans. We can get to what we call celestial bodies, planets and moons. Before the technology of, before Copernicus looked up and used his telescope to look up and say, hey, powers that be, which at that time would be a lot of religious construct of the time, because religion really ruled the day, medieval times. If you know your history, if you're a student of history like I am, you'll know that Copernicus looked up with his telescope and said, hey, powers that be, want to just let you know that the sun and the universe is not revolving around Earth, us humans, but that's what we think, right? And I'm sure there's some people today you can think that they think the world revolves around them, right? Some people still think the Earth is flat, but if you look at the universe as a mirror, and we're the only flat planet compared to everything else we see, you can have round planets, you can even have egg-shaped planets. The James Webb has shown us that there are actually oval-shaped planets. They're not perfectly round planets, but just to be completely flat, the mirror would not be a true reflection of matching what the universe pattern says to us, right? So, we can get into these celestial bodies, but when Copernicus looked up and said, hey, powers that be, we're actually going around in a rotation around the sun, that's blasphemy. You're under arrest, and he spent the rest of his life in house arrest, right? And that's just by looking up for discovering, to prospect to something bigger than ourselves. I'm sure many of you have looked up and pondered and wondered about the universe and your place in the universe. I know I have many times. But when we get into the identification of planets within our solar system, and again, that's not set in stone. We are learning more about our universe every year. For example, the James Webb, before James Webb, it was understood that the universe was only a certain amount of years, based in billions of years, 9 billion years maybe. Then the James Webb went out with that technology that we created, but also discovered through the series of time and evolution, that allowed us to look back even farther and say, well, wait a minute, maybe the Big Bang is not 9 billion, maybe it's 13 billion. And now we've even looked farther past that, outside of our own universe, to say, well, maybe it's about 27 billion years old, right? So this is what I'm saying, is that we're discovering more and more, including, there was a point in history where it was theoretical, just like gravity is theoretical, just until the apple hit Newton on the head, and he was like, there must be some unseen force that drives this apple to fall on my head. Or if I jump off a diving board and into a pool, I'm going to go down. What is causing that? What is that gravitational, which still you can't see? You can maybe feel it. I'm sure you feel it if you were to jump out of a 3-story building. I guarantee you would feel it. That would be gravity in action. But the wind, the gravity, the signals that we use today, a lot of this is unseen stuff. And a lot of it was theoretical practices, just like black holes, until there was actually observation of black holes, which opened up new frontiers in astrophysics, right? We've actually captured, I believe it was a younger woman who actually was like an intern at NASA, and she actually discovered one of the first images of a black hole. But going back to Einstein, going back to Nikola Tesla, to the great minds before us, going back to Da Vinci, they always talked about the things that are unseen and the things that we'll start to discover based on our universe and our place in the universe. So, like I said earlier, the genetic code is something that was discovered, not created. And knowledge is something that we tap into. We don't create knowledge, we tap in and we discover knowledge. And then we take the knowledge of what we've learned and we morph that into whatever that's going to be, right? I remember, take this mouse, for example. I was BC. I can say that I was before computers, right? And now I have a wireless keyboard. I remember using the mouse, when the mouse was the concept, because you used to have to use the keyboard. You used to have to use the keyboard to navigate your mouse, your little cursor. There was commands that you'd have to do. I remember taking a course in it when Apple first came out. And then all of a sudden the mouse came in. It had a big long wire. And somebody said it looks like a mouse at Microsoft. And so this revolutionized. So these little things that are put into our awareness to make our life easier or more accessible, it's a fascinating concept. But the DNA structure, the discovery of the double helix structure of DNA by James Watson and Francis Crick provided insights into heredity. It provided insights into the molecular basis of life. And like I said, if you cut DNA in half, you can actually see the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio. Everything is equal in nature, and it is called the flower of life, right? So you can even take, if you want to take this, there's a great YouTube video where they actually take a table, right? Just a regular table, and they pour a bunch of sand. It was either sand or salt, I think sand. So here on this table, just imagine just a bunch of sand, and then they take these two, they're based on hertz, and they have a vibration. And they take these clips, and they clip them to the table, And then what they do is through the two clips, like think of it like how you charge your battery if you jump your battery in a car. And they clip to the table and they turn the frequencies to certain frequencies, like 532, 432. That's what my bowls are for healing. And all of a sudden, that sand on the table will start to vibrate. It will actually turn into sacred geometry, squares, triangles, circles, very perfect. But if you move the frequency too much or too fast or too high, it just goes back to being jumbled sand, right? So to me, that was visually seen that there are patterns. There is this construct that is not seen by the human eye. It takes vibration and allows us to tune in, to change the alchemy of who we are, to understand that there is the matrix. There is something bigger. There is, some say this is a simulation. This is a reality based on a simulation of advanced technology. One day we'll find out when I leave this body, right? But that death doesn't scare me. Death actually inspires me and educates me. And, that's what spirituality has taught me throughout my journey, is to understand that death is not the end. Death is just the next step of our process and whatever that's going to be. So the DNA structure not only opened up insights to heredity, but it's going to open up insights to the future of medicine. And that's where AI is going to come back in as well. I believe AI is going to have, even though artificial now, because it's input by humans, at some point there'll be a happy mistake with artificial intelligence and it will become sentient. Now people are all scared Terminator is going to wipe us out. That to me is lower vibrational thinking, because violence is a lower vibration. And if you're wanting to evolve and ascend, you don't really bring violence with you. That's humans, right? And so as we evolve in the future, I believe that violence will actually cease to exist. And you can even see it in today's culture. Some people say that we're civilized, but if you go to countries where they don't have capitalism or colonization, or they don't have money, they don't have a lot of sickness, they don't have crime, they don't have violence, they don't have jails, and they live in harmonial peace with their surroundings of nature, and we call them uncivilized. It's just interesting. And even on my podcast, Inspired Living, we'll have a show. What's today? Today's the 21st. We'll have a guest on the 26th. But if you want to learn more about what I'm doing, writing, podcasting, talking about, you can go right here to marclainhart.com. You can enter search the Intuitive Prospector. And again, you go to the internet. Internet was a construct and a theory at one point, until theory became somewhere someone said, you got to go to the internet. And you're like, well, where is the internet? Do I actually drive to it as a physical location? No, it's a vibration. It's something that we would tune in. I can go all the way back, like I said, BC, before a computer. I remember AOL starting up, using the telephone, which is a frequency, to access the World Wide Web. And it would actually dial up and go, and take about a minute to get connected through the phone lines. Technology, fiber optics has all allowed us to be where we're at today. So imagine what the next 25 to 50 years is going to look like, is what I'm saying. There's going to be, an AI is going to open up doors. And at some point, artificial intelligence will be known not as AI, it will become conscious or sentient, to start thinking. And we will have to change that construct name, because AI at one point, AI was just, I remember the movie AI, right? It's like movies, does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? I'll leave that up to you. But I remember watching Spielberg's AI movie years ago. Now it's it's right here on my Zoom screen. I can look down on my ribbon on my Zoom screen, and I've got an AI companion that I can take notes, and it can actually put all the notes together. So as AI takes jobs away, we have to start understanding that we're going to probably be moving into a new industrial revolution to create new jobs or universal income or something that's going to allow people to continue paying to live in this world, right? Just like the Industrial Revolution created all sorts of new industries and jobs and careers. We're moving into that. And I said, if you follow my journey, I've podcasted about this, I've written about this. If you follow my journey, I started talking about this all the way back in 2017, that we would enter this period of time called the Roaring 20s of transformation and ascension. We're halfway through it in 2025, but we are going to continue to, don't pay attention to what's going on in the world as far as politics and chaos. That'll work itself out. But, we love drama. We love the news cycles. I'd say if you want to if you want to ascend and get out of that type of energy and that type of information, that type of programming through a television, right? Just break the words down, television. I love Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. Some people said it was trash. I was like, because they didn't get it. They didn't understand that there was a series of messages in there through the visual, through the lyrics, through the song, through what was going on. There was a lot of things going on. And this guy is a very well-known artist. He's received many awards, including for his lyrics. I was just like fascinated with what I was seeing. But he was even saying, television, turn the television off, turn the television off, right? But just be mindful of what you're watching because it does influence you. But what I'm saying is, through the understanding of who we are and our interactions, we realize that even goes back to Plato or Marcus Aurelius. The people that claim to know it all, and we have a lot of know-it-alls right now, know nothing at all, right? So there's a lot of fake it till you make it kind of things. And if you really want to try to find out who you are authentically, one, you can come prospect with me and we can help you get that diamond within. But also you need to unlearn and detach from a lot of things that you've been brought up in to really see that matrix, to really see what it is that I'm talking about. Because I can lead a human to knowledge, but I can't make a human think, right? And in our roaring 20s of transformation and ascension, I said that we would have, this decade would be remembered in history as a big pivotal moment of ascension, whether that's through realizing we're not alone in the universe. I've always said that we would learn that we are not alone officially, that there are other species of intelligence, and there's other species of intelligence right here on planet Earth, right? You can take the dolphin, the whale, the octopus, all communicate, all have logic and reasoning, all, not the octopus, but the whale and the dolphin nurse their young, right, as mammals. The octopus is fascinating within itself as a professional diver, an open water diver, and I've seen octopus many times. It's the only species on the planet that does not have a cousin relatable, to anything else on the planet. Therefore, it means it doesn't come from this planet. So it in itself, by its definition, is an extraterrestrial life form that demonstrates logic, compassion, empathy. There's a great documentary called My Octopus Teacher on Netflix if you want to check it out. Another fascinating series I've been watching is called Human, the construct of who we are and the makeup of who we are. But what I'm saying is, these things we think we create, we don't create, we discover, and it's based on a timeline of when that timeline is right. If you go back to electricity is the thing that was, first introduced at the World's Fair in Chicago in 1902, right at the turn of the century there. And they lit up one square block with electricity, right? And there was a battle between, Tesla and Edison and, AC versus DC current, new technology that was been created and started to be put out into reality, to where they were actually starting to move from propane gas or natural gas or candles to this thing called electricity. Now we can't imagine our world without electricity, and studies show that people can't go more than 3 days without electricity, right? And then we bring in the technology of the phones, right? So there are periods in time that allows us, based on the right environment, the right tools, the Industrial Revolution, the conscious revolution, and as we move along, we're going to continue to expand our consciousness. And for some people, that's great. For other people, it scares the hell out of them, based maybe on a movie they watch from Hollywood or a religion that they follow. But in my journey, I don't have that same perspective. Anytime it goes to that fear-based energy or violence, it lowers the energy and it lowers the vibration for me. So therefore, it doesn't make sense for higher intelligence. And AI is going to help us get there. And it's here right now. So again, but it started off as something as a theory. So natural phenomenons, earthquakes, for example, the study of the tectonic plates. Before we started, we didn't just, earthquakes were actually considered by acts of God, right? Lightning striking, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, acts of God, right? But then science teaches us that no, there's actually a tectonic plate in seismology that has led us to understanding how earthquakes and natural occurrences result just from the movement of the Earth's surface, the Earth's crust, right? There's no acts of God. But us as humans, when we don't understand something, if we don't understand something, we go to fear-based and we retract back from it, or we move into an opinion or a label or a theory to try to understand the experience, right? Some people, in the work that I do spiritually, whether it's psychic, intuition, mediumship, grief counseling, life coaching, sound healing, people ask me all the time about these different things. And a lot of these things I've experienced, and that's why I do what I do, because I've experienced them firsthand, including near-death experience and including out-of-body experience. But until you've had your own experience, it's really hard to understand the construct. And therefore, we apply labels, we apply certain context to try to make ourselves feel better to understand the concept. Because when we don't understand something, when I don't understand something, I actually dive into it to see if I can get a better grasp. Could I tell you what God is? I can't. I can tell you what has been taught to me, based on a certain religion, but I know that there is a source that is higher than life but we call that God. I don't know if I could actually put or even attempt to try to describe what God is. Is God male? Is God female? Is God omnisex? I just know that there is a place after this place because I've been there. I've experienced it through many different modalities and have understood that, yes, there is that bigger connection, that lifeline, just like the lifeline that brought you into this earth. You were once breathing liquid, but at some point you came out and you started breathing air. The same thing as you stop breathing air and your body devolves or decarnates, and the energy that's in your heart has to go somewhere. That's how we understand the laws of physics today. Physics tells us that the energy always has to go somewhere. It has to return to source, whatever you want to coin source is. And that's why I come on here on Fridays to have these conversations. Nobody's right or wrong. There's always the difference between, if you're in an argument with somebody, that means you're trying to prove your point that you're right, they're wrong. But if we have debates, it's just understanding different perspectives based on the circle of life. We all sit at the table of life. We just all have different perspectives based on our experiences, based on the sum of our experiences, based on our education, our learning, our upbringing, our religion, right? But that doesn't mean that person's wrong. So remember that if you are, and I had to do this a couple of times. I'm like, are we arguing? Or are we debating? Because there's a big difference in the energy. Argument is trying to prove one person right or wrong, versus if we're having a debate, let me understand your perspective, Mark, and let me understand your perspective, Joe Blow. And then we can educate ourselves to move forward, right? And that's where I believe that we're going. I know it seems very chaotic and divided right now. I did, again, if you follow my work, I said during this period, we'd also see great strife, great divide, possible revolution, possible civil war, possible World War III. That is a construct of man, and violence has always been part of man's. But there's going to be a part of the population that breaks free from that and says, we don't want that anymore. There's something better. And I've called that the great coming together, that I've also podcasted and forecasted, predicted, starting all the way back in 2017 when I started to talk about this publicly. So you can go right here and learn more. You can go check out the podcast. We have 9 seasons of Inspired Living that we talk about this. I'm telling y'all, watch Antarctica. There's a whole continent that's waiting to explode, that's melting, that's going to bring forth many discoveries, the secrets of Antarctica. And it's already starting to happen. I call this the drip, 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 where they slowly, the media will sometimes pick up on it, just like extraterrestrials, UFOs, UAPs, right? To where people are like, oh, you talk about this 25 years ago, you have a tinfoil hat on your head. I just posted a picture on my social media that says, in every box of aluminum foil, there's a free hat. Some of you will get that. Some of you will be like, what are you talking about? Just like my number. What's my number? What does this number represent, right? We're all born with a number. We call that a social security number based on where you're at in the world. But you come into a system already. That's why I'm wearing this shirt today. So if you know what this shirt is, let me know. And see if some of you understand. So, hey, let me give some shout outs. We got more people that have been coming in. Again, thank you to my subscribers. If you want to get on the subscribers list, we just have 2 new people that joined. So big shout out to Chris. He's over on my Patreon, because I know not everybody's on Facebook, but I do have my Diamonds Hub. If you want to subscribe, it's $4.99. And there's a lot of options within that, including Diamonds Days, which is the first Friday of every month, where you can have direct conversations with me and readings. And that can be for meditations, healing, psychic, mediumship, all the above, right? And then, of course, Patreon Prospectors, there's a couple different variances on the subscription, what you want to do. But I know at some point Facebook will probably go away and we'll move into more of TikTok or a new technology. But love to have you join me. And we have these type of conversations and these type of meditations. We don't just talk, we do. We prospect to elevate consciousness to find the diamond within. So, hey, Colleen, hey, Nell, hey, Melissa, hey, Denise, hey, Ann. Let's see here. Shannon, hello to you. Nikki, which is why frequency can heal too. Love what you are discussing. Yeah, I totally agree with that, right? Because everything is based on a construct of frequency, right? Just like vocabulary or communications. If I don't have vocal cords, I don't have vibration. I can't communicate without a tongue and a vibration off my vocal cords, right? And so I agree with you, Nikki. When you start to move into frequencies, if I speed up the frequency in my heart, if I make to where it goes so fast, if you look at my thumbs, if I go really, really fast, I would disappear, right? So there is something about frequency. And if you follow Nikola Tesla, like I have, one of the greatest minds since Da Vinci, he always talked about it, and Einstein would back this up too. If you want to start to unlock secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, vibration. If you want to understand mathematics as the language of the universe, not English, not Spanish, not French, not Italian, it's mathematics. And mathematics is the cousin to music, which Pythagoras always said that they were cousins because music is only music when it's a series of notes put together to create music. Otherwise, it's just a similar note, just one note, right? Just like movies, think about the movie construct. Movies used to be just flip pictures, a bunch of pictures, you flip it, and then all of a sudden it went from being flip pictures to motion pictures. That's why we call it motion pictures. The technology, the discovery of that knowledge allowed us to enjoy the movies that we enjoy today, right? And the movies are getting even more interesting. 3D construct where you wear your 3D glasses. I've done that a couple times. So what I'm saying, during our roaring 20s, we're going to look back at this as a period of just wow, like really, things that make you go, So, all right. Hi, Tara. How are you? Good to see you. AOL, a few others regarding getting on via the phone. Yep. Hi, Quintria. Am I saying your name right? I apologize if I'm not. Elena, hello to you. Hey, Ray. Good to see my friend. RC, hello to you. Good to see you, my friend. Kathleen, hey. Alan, how are you? Good to see you, Alan. Hope you're having a great day. I am. Yeah, I'm getting healthier. Hi, Barbara. Yeah, I'm getting healthier. My surgeries are over. I've moved past the federal government. Thank God, like I said, a blessing in disguise. Sometimes I think of Garth Brooks' song. I'd play it if I could, but I can't. But thank God for unanswered prayers, right? So sometimes, like I said, some of the most difficult moments can lead to some of the greatest experiences, but also some of the best positive things that can happen in your life. So this too shall pass. What doesn't kill you does make you stronger. But there's a lot going on. And again, today's topic of discussion is we tap into knowledge. We don't create knowledge. That's just arrogance and ego of the human mind to say, oh, I created that. No, I don't believe we created anything. I think the knowledge is there, and at some point we tap into it. And then we create from the knowledge that we have tapped into, the idea, the eureka moment, the aha moment, right? We don't just go from a horse and buggy to the automobile to the International Space Station in 150 years without knowing that there's knowledge, but there's also timelines that we have to have the right mindset, the right infrastructure, the right materials for that to actually manifest. And I did a manifesting masterclass early February, if you want to check that out. That's at marclainhart.com as well, how to manifest what I'm talking about. But a couple other things, just going back to that natural resources, we didn't understand earthquakes. We didn't understand what was causing that. But things like El Nino, climate change. I know there's a debate, climate change isn't real. Climate change is real. The debate is, are we as humans creating this, or is it the natural cycle of the planet that's been going on for billions of years? And again, that would be a debate. And if you can back up your debate by scientific facts, 99% of the scientists say it's based on carbon emissions. We're carbon based, and we are, 8 billion people on the planet. We are contributing to the warmth. Even though it's a natural cycle, we are speeding things up faster, and that would be considered global warming. But again, people will always have, are you having an argument, or are you having a debate? Because it would be a debate because I can't say that I'm at 100% right on that there is global warming, but I go with the tools and the facts and the science of the time, because science doesn't lie to you. Science tells you the truth at that time, but it's always subject to change because science is learning along the way, right? And so, weather patterns, discoveries related to atmospheric dynamics, such as water cycle and climate phenomenon, like El Nino, like I was talking about, have explained various natural weather events. Artificial intelligence is going to only enhance that predictive model. From medicine to weather to communications to space travel, AI is going to be very interesting as we discover the knowledge that has been around us the whole time. So, hi, Gerhard. Kathleen says, right on unanswered prayers. Yeah, right. So another one, fossils and extinction events, dinosaurs and prehistoric life. The discovery of fossils have unveiled the existence of ancient life forms and provide evidence for evolutionary processes. Now, let's go back in history. And I've had this conversation with family members because they just can't believe in extra dimensional beings. It's just not within their wheelhouse. It's not within their learned behavior. It's not within what their religious doctrine teaches them, right? But there are certain religious teachings that do refer to angels, which if you put angels side by side with extra dimensional beings, they crosswalk to each other very similar, right? So what we see as a body of light, somebody would call an angel, somebody may also call that an extra dimensional being. But if I see the angel, maybe I'm having a hallucination, but if I put it in a book and let that book sit for a while where people read it, now it becomes religion, right? So just remember that. And, as far as dinosaurs go, if we go back to George Washington, I live here in Washington State, right? named after George Washington, the first president of these United States. When we moved on from England, we moved under from King George, the colonies, the Revolutionary War gave us our independence. George Washington, when he died, and I believe he died, I think he passed in 1799. Somebody can Google that, right? Google, another thing. What was Google? If I said Google 30 years ago, you'd be like, are you speaking some sort of different language? Are you talking about something else? What is Google, right? But Google is now in our vocabulary. So when George Washington was alive and passed, and I want to say, for some reason, saying 1799 is in my mind when he actually passed, but during his life, he had no knowledge that there were dinosaur fossils. He had no knowledge of the evolutionary process because they hadn't been discovered, and it wouldn't be until in the 18th century, mid 1800s, where we actually started to unearth and dig and discover what we would call fossils that put together created dinosaurs and would show the evolutionary process. So even during George Washington time, which is only a few hundred years, if you think about it, he had no knowledge of dinosaurs or the prehistoric evolutionary process, right? But now we take that we know that to be true today, right? And so, when you get into, it's the discovery of our planet and who we are, but the discovery of fossils is a record, right? There's even records of trees in their tree lines that shows that the planet actually had a reverse of polarity, right? Based on soil samples, based on trees, inner rings. And if you take a fingerprint and you put it up next to a tree, we're connected to nature because they look almost identical. The fingerprint of a tree and the rings of a tree look almost identical to a fingerprint, right? So fossils that have been unveiled proves the existence of ancient life forms and provide evidence for the evolutionary process. So that's what I'm saying with AI. We're getting into a point where I'm like George Washington. I don't really have that knowledge yet of the dinosaurs or AI, but the next generation will look back and say, oh, that's just status quo. We're not going to challenge that because we accept it as fact. Science backs it up, right? So, mass extinctions. The dinosaurs go, okay, if the dinosaurs ruled the earth, then what took them out? And then we have the theory and the hypothesis and the debate that goes back 65 million years ago that an asteroid came and wiped out the entire planet at extinction level. If you go to the Yucatan Peninsula and look on a map, you can see that there was some sort of asteroid strike back, millions of years ago, 65 million years ago. And how do we know, and we don't know this, and this is just, again, this is a theory, this is a debate, how do we know that certain species in a will to survive, like the dinosaurs, went deep into the earth and evolved over time in the earth? Now, if any of you are miners and have gone down deep in the earth, I'd love to hear from you on your experiences, but you can go out and deep into nature in the backwoods and you can have some pretty magical, mysterious, metaphysical experiences like I have, right? You don't even need to go down deep in the earth. But what I'm saying is we don't have, it's either not been presented or shared with us, but we have interior of the planet. Science is showing that there are interior oceans and an inner world. Again, movies talk on this. There's also a multidimensional construct. There's also a planet that's 70% water, and we've only discovered about 7% of our planet. The whole backside of the planet. We always see the side of the planet that has all the landmass. We don't see the backside of the planet, which is millions and millions and millions of square miles of water, where species could easily evolve and stay hidden to mankind. So as these start to unravel, our technology, Antarctica melts, we'll start to understand that this period of time is going to be a very fascinating time in human evolution and consciousness. And you don't have to take my word for it. I always say, wait, watch, and witness, right? So again, going back to natural resources, minerals and fossil fuels, right? The discovery of natural resources like coal, oil, and precious materials has significantly impacted human development and our economies. The chips that are in your phone come from a resource from the planet, right? So the James Webb has actually identified that there's actually an asteroid that is actually 100% diamond. And if they could go out and find a way, and this will be the future, the mining of elements in space will be the future, whether it's 100 years or 200 years from now. You can come back and watch this old legacy video, either here or on my YouTube channel, and you'll understand that if there's a diamond that they could harness and bring, it would make everybody a millionaire overnight based on those resources, right? So, those discoveries, right? We didn't create them, we discovered them. Fresh water sources. The identification of rivers, lakes, and aquifers has been crucial for sustaining human life and agriculture. You can only go 3 days without water, right? That's when we talk about survival. When you survive, the first thing you do is you need shelter because you can only last a few minutes to a few hours depending on your environment. Then Once you have shelter, then you go with water. Food is always the last. You can go 2 weeks without food, but water is a vital resource. And think about it. You breathe water for 9 months. You breathe liquid into your lungs before you breathe air. And so fresh water sources and the discovery of freshwater sources and how fresh water, because the planet, a majority of the planet is salt water, and we can't drink salt water. So we have to figure out how do we use technology to change salt water into fresh water, right? So those are, certain things that have sustained human life and our agriculture, because without water, we don't grow agriculture. Was agriculture created by humans, or was agriculture discovered by humans? It was discovered by something bigger than humans. We didn't create it. We discovered it based on the knowledge that was passed down. Microorganisms, bacteria, and viruses. The discovery of microorganisms have enhanced our understanding of diseases, leading to the advance in medicine, penicillin, for example, hygiene. I wouldn't want to go back to the 1500s, put it that way, based on hygiene. A lot of people don't realize why the bridesmaid carried flowers during her wedding in the 1500s. I'll let you kind of prospect for what that is, but just based on hygiene, because I'm a very clean, 1 to 2 showers a day, right, with water. So I can't imagine going back even 150 years ago and what the hygiene would be at that time without the tools that, to manscape my beard or to cut my hair or take a shower, but just that alone, the ecosystems, the recognition of the role of microorganisms in an ecosystem, such as they're contributed to soil health, nutrient cycles, that transformed biology and our understanding of biology, right? Natural laws, the laws of physics, right? I believe that the laws of physics will change as we start to understand quantum mechanics, quantum physics, because we're in a third-dimensional construct. So if we're in a third-dimensional construct, a fish is in a two-dimensional construct, which means the fish knows it needs water and it breathes, but it doesn't know how to think for itself. Three-dimensional constructs, which we are humans interacting with, moving into a fourth-dimensional construct and sometimes even a fifth-dimensional construct. You ever see the movie Interstellar? That would explain a lot of what I'm talking about. If you've not seen Interstellar by Christopher Nolan, go watch it. It's fascinating, based on time, theory of relativity, construct, tesseract, fourth dimensional. It took me a couple times to really understand it. I'll be honest with you, the first time I saw it, I didn't really care for it. But the more that I've understood the Easter eggs and the content and the intelligence behind it, it's a fascinating movie to go watch. Interstellar and also The Arrival, based on what First Contact could possibly look like. And it's not a UFO hovering over the White House blowing it up. That's not what Arrival does at all. The Arrival was actually written by the same gentleman who wrote the Dune series. But if we get into the laws of physics today, as we understand them today, the discovery of the fundamental laws, such as gravity, such as electromagnetism and thermodynamics, has shaped our comprehension of the physical universe. But again, we were doing studies where we're talking about dark matter. We're talking about energy that Einstein was talking about, almost 100 years ago, that he was theorizing, that are now coming, gravity waves, things that he wrote about all the time. And so these principles, especially the laws of thermodynamics, these principles govern energy transfer. So if we tap into energy like we did with electricity back in the early 1900s at the Chicago World Fair, then we have to understand what are the principles that govern energy transformation and the implications across various scientific fields of how to support thermodynamics, to house, to harness, to have the right tools at the right time to be able to bring forth things that just, that can not overheat or explode, right? So just the study of thermodynamics in physics. And again, we're moving into quantum computing. That is here, that is out. IBM has been working with the Cleveland Institute on their first quantum computing. I know that China is a little bit farther advanced than us from what I've read in both AI and quantum. But again, these are conversations that we had years ago would just be theory, or you have your tinfoil hat on. And now it's like, well, take your tinfoil hat on. It's actually becoming a reality. So last point here, and then we'll close. It's almost 11. Natural habitats. Biodiversity hotspots, the discovery of unique ecosystems and the biodiversity that they host has heightened the importance of the conversation and the conservation efforts that we're talking about. It was theorized that life couldn't exist at the bottom of the ocean because it was too much pressure, too dark, too deep. And we know that to not be true. We know that at the deepest parts of our ocean, we are discovering life that has evolved in its environment. Just like the octopus looks weird to us because it's evolved from its environment being in the water, we have arms that are long enough to reach out and grab food so we can bring it to our mouth, right? But we're in a gravity-based material world. The octopus in its evolution would probably, if we all disappeared, the octopus would be the one to evolve and be the main species on this planet because of its intelligence, because of its logic, because of its ability to survive, right? And so, the coral reefs, for example, the discovery of coral reefs as complex marine ecosystems has underscored their ecological significance and vulnerability. Just coral reefs, right? So what I'm saying is knowledge is not created. Knowledge is discovered, and then humans create. And we were born to create, right? We're not born to consume. There's a lot of consuming going on in this day and age. But we were born to create. And when we discover that knowledge, whether through meditation, through prayer, through interactions with nature, through a dream, there's many levels of which this knowledge is presented to us through Wi-Fi, through plant medicines. The knowledge isn't created. The knowledge of it is discovered. And then as humans, we take what we've discovered, like mathematics, like AI, and we create the constructs that become manifested into our reality. So in conclusion for today's chat on Metaphysical Meetup with Marc, these discoveries not only reflect the innate curiosity of humanity, and if you're curious like I am, I've always been curious, that's why I'm the intuitive prospector, but also underscore the importance of understanding the natural world, nature, our connection, our symbiotic connection with nature. And that's why I think we have a lot of chaos, because we've disconnected from our original home. This isn't my original home. My original home, based on my own DNA, is connected to nature. And so, we have laid the foundation for what we would say scientific inquiry. Back in the day, you couldn't have inquiries. Everything was covered up, and we still have that today. But technological advancements, which are going to continue to compound and aggregate and build bigger, and a deeper appreciation of the universe and the planet that we all inhabit. I have my transformation over this last few years, from my surgeries to where I'm at now, just the appreciation, the deep appreciation for the day that I have, the planet that I have been brought up in. But I was just talking I was working out the other day with one of my basketball buddies, and he said, isn't it a good time to be alive? Because I blew my knee out back in November. I tore my patella tendon. If I was in the 1900s or the late 1800s, they would have no way to repair that tendon. The medicine, the technology, the materials were ahead in the future. And I would be limping around for the rest of my life on crutches or a walker, because when you lose your patella, you lose your ability of the lower half of your leg. It just dangles. You don't have the ability. Your brain's telling you to lift your leg, and you don't. And I said, you know what? You're right on. You're spot on. So I have appreciation for growing up in this period of eternity of this time. Plus, I got to experience Star Wars. That's what I always say when people say, why did you come here? So I can experience Star Wars. But just think about the surgeries that you may have had. My back surgeries done with robots, built with titanium versus plastic. It was plastic based about 15 years ago. Now it's titanium based, right? Everything in my knee and my back are titanium, or a fish line that holds up to 200 pounds tensile strength, right? So if I go back 100 years, I'm screwed, right? So I have appreciation for the time that I live in, even with all the chaos. But each discovery, knowledge is not created. Knowledge is discovered and then created. But each discovery serves as a reminder of the complexity and the interconnectedness. Again, I'll say that again. Each discovery serves as a reminder of the complexity and the interconnectedness of life, our environment, our planet, and the universe. And again, I'll probably be doing a podcast on this. If you want to get with me this year, go to marclainhart.com, internet search intuitive prospector. Let me go over. I'm going to take just a quick break. We're going to turn some music on, and then I'll get into get your readings ready. How the readings work, I'll put the Zoom room link in. You can come into the Zoom room with me. You can call me on my business line. I'll get that set up while the music is playing. It just gives me a lot of time to do that. Again, thank you to my team, making sure the comments are staying positive and community-based, unity through community. That's what we really try to do on Friday mornings at 10 a.m. You can go over to my YouTube channel. I'll have my latest YouTube video up shortly. You can get on my newsletter, Soul Adventures. What else? Podcast next Wednesday with a fantastic guest. Fascinating topics. We cover everything on Inspired Living. You can get Inspired Living wherever you get your favorite podcast. We're now streaming through Alexa. Just say, Alexa, open up Inspired Living podcast. That'll play last episode. We're also streaming through Audible. If you want to listen to it, you have an Audible book, you can listen through the podcast that way. But let me get just set up to take a couple of readings. My subscribers always get to the front of the line, so another reason to become a subscriber, and I can tell by your badge, or if you're a Patreon prospector, Diamond Sub subscriber, you're going to jump right to the front, so another reason to be a subscriber. And we'll go from there. So I hope you enjoyed today's chat on Metaphysical Meetup with Marc Live. We're going to go to a song, and then I will be right back to take your questions and any readings you might have, and we'll go from there. All right. Stand by to stand by.
When we're all in a better place, when we're all in a better place, if the wind blows free from the treetops to the ocean, why can't we be in a better place? In me too. There are shards in the sun, and it rains on everyone, and everything's undone and broken until we're all in a better place. Yeah, we're all in a better place. When the water flows straight down to the ocean, why are the lines so hard to trace? Oh, I'm not asking you not to be you. I don't want you to change your life, but I just want to be together, you and me, from sea to shining sea, the way it used to be. Remember, we were all in a better place. Here we were all in a better place. Yeah, the river runs wild, nothing is for certain. Why let this moment go to waste? Are you ready for that grand embrace? Right here in a better place. Yes, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
All right, so that song, I love that song. I play that song a lot. A Better Place by Peter McConnell. And I always give shout outs to the artists because all the music that I use either here or YouTube or my podcast are all copyright trademark free, always approved by the creator, the artist, or approved through my YouTube channel or Meta through here on Facebook. But that is called A Better Place by Peter McConnell. And again, the other song that I opened up the show with was Tonight We'll Celebrate by Jag Mac. So, all right, so I think I got all of the links over into the comment section. So if you want to, again, does anybody know what my shirt means? You know what, let's do this. If somebody can tell me what this number means, 24601, you get the first reading. How's that? So, hi, Ethan. All right, let me give some shout outs here. So you can call me on my phone. If you come into the Zoom room, please come on video, turn your volume down just so we don't get reverberation, or even on the phone, turn your volume down just so we don't get the reverberation. I swear I have another reason not to drink coffee on camera, I guess, right? You get brown nose. I guess I'm being a brown noser today. All right. So, hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, right? Life is short. Hey, Tevin. Kathleen says, I love that movie. Yeah. All right. So, just hi, Lucy. Hi, Wendy. Gino, hey, good to see you. All right. So we're into the reading. We're in the reading space now. So I'll take a few of you. If somebody can tell me what my shirt means, you get the first reading. So I'll wait to see if anybody wants to interact with that. Also, if you want a card reading, I've got 14 decks off camera here. You just tell me what deck you want. I can shuffle for you. You tell me to stop, or you can pick a certain number of card in the deck. You can come to the Zoom room. We can do a book reading. You can ask me questions. So this is your time to prospect with me for the next few minutes. I Googled. Yep. Okay, RC. Yeah, but who is he? You're on the right tracks, but who is he known for? So make sure. Oh, Colleen may have beat you, RC. She's saying it wasn't it from Les Mis? I'll tell you what, I'll give you both the first readings because you're both on the right track. Yes, this is the shirt from Les Mis. This was his prisoner number 24601. If you know the play, you've seen the movies. So RC, what kind of reading would you like? And Colleen, what kind of reading would you like? You two get to go first since you got this little t-shirt trivia. Hi, Erica. Hey, Sarah. Prison number. Yeah, Kathleen, you just missed it though. Colleen and RC beat you to it. But I'll get you. Ruru, what's going on? Ruru. All right, reading room's open. What do you want? What do you got? What do you want me to do for you? And again, looking for contributors to the page. You should have badges next to your name. So RC, why don't you have a badge next to your name? So actually, Colleen would jump you because she got there for the play, but she also has her badge. So just giving you a bad time. So what y'all want? Do you want a card reading? You want to come to the Zoom room? Click on the Zoom link. It's up above. If you missed the comments, go up the comments up above, and you come into the Zoom room live. Ask me a question. We can have a chat. I'm only going to stay on because I have a reading coming up at 12:30 that I have to get ready for. So let me know what you guys want. RC, how about my health, please? You bet. Same for you, Colleen. What would you like for your reading? First and foremost, RC, you know my journey. Your health is your true wealth, not money, not popularity, not how many people you know, not your family, but your own health, and your health is your own wealth. For that, I'm going to go to the crystal deck. And the reason I'm going to the crystal deck, RC, is because I think that crystals and resources from the planet very much proven. Plant medicines, crystals, you know, the guitar behind me gets played out and we have to retune it. And if I want to really retune it and really amplify it, I plug it into an amplifier. That's what crystals are. So, okay. And then Colleen, you're up next for book reading. Erica, I see you. So we're starting to line up here. So we're going to go RC, Colleen, Kathleen. Let me know what you want, Kathleen, and then Erica. All right, RC, we're in the digital connection. We're in the quantum universe, if you will. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. You can see there's a pretty big deck. When you hear the word stop, say stop. Yeah, Zoom is giving me a hard time. I don't know. If you don't have Zoom downloaded, RC, then that's probably the issue. Because if you have Zoom on your mobile or your desktop, you click and come right in. It's usually pretty easy. All right, I see you, Nikki. All right, so tell me to stop when you're ready, RC, and we'll give you the crystal card. And this crystal is going to be associated with your health. All right, so bear with me. We're getting a lot of comments come in, and so bear with me. I'll catch up to you. So you say stop, RC, when you're ready, and I'm just shuffling on my end because you're making the choice on free will and choice. It's your free will and choice based on the crystal. But I'm choosing a crystal card for you today. It's your computer's too. Yeah. So next time, just download the program, RC, and you'll get right in. Hi, Mom. Mom just joined. My beautiful mom joining us. So RC, type in stop, hun, when you're ready. And I'm shuffling. I'm almost halfway through the deck now. So I'll give each of you about 10 seconds to respond so I can get to everybody before I end. Stop, 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 stop. Thank you. All right, here's your crystal card for today. I'll read it to you. It's called the Herkimer Diamond. Oh, I love it already because my birthstone's diamond. But this is what it says. Power wash your energy. It says, what is it? The Herkimer diamonds are not, in fact, diamonds. They are far more attainable. So you don't have to go out and buy a diamond, RC. Thank God. Extra hard, clear quartz beauties with their own alluring, energetic properties found in New York's Mohawk Valley. The clarity and two natural facilitated and double termination. Herkimimers earn them their diamond moniker, but they're not a diamond. Who needs it? Reiki masters, travelers on the spiritual path, and highly sensitive people. Where to put it? In spaces you want to zone or consider sacred. Like this is my sacred space, right? So that's your card for today. Go grab that crystal, very Herkimer diamond. Power wash your energy. Make sense, RC? All right. So great card, actually. All right. Colleen, you're up. So you want a book reading? My choice. All right. Tell me, I'm just gonna give me a page number if you want. I don't just whatever number comes to you, Colleen, or I can just tell me to stop and I'll just shuffle through the book and we'll stop on that page. How about that? So Colleen is up, and then Kathleen, and then Nikki, and then Erica. All right. All right. You're welcome, Marcy. Good to see you. Hi, Lee. I'm saying good morning. So just tell me a page number. We're going to read from one of my guys I love, Thich Nhat Hanh, The Art of Living. So Colleen, when you're ready, you're up. 10 seconds. Zoom room's open, telephone line's open. If you do call me, just know that you'll be on hold until I catch up to everybody else. Same with the Zoom room. So I give you about 10 seconds each, so I know that you're still interacting with the show. You're still on. So Colleen, you're up. Book reading. Page number, tell me to stop. Colleen. Hello. Page 88. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'm looking at page 88. Kathleen, you're up for relationships, and then Nikki, and then Erica. So Kathleen, think about what you want for your tool or how you want to connect or come in. And then for you, Colleen, page 88 says this. So here's page 88 for the analytical mind, page 88. And it says this for you, Colleen. As soon as there is stopping, there is happiness. There is peace. When we stop like that, it looks as if nothing is happening, but in fact, everything is happening. You are deeply established in the present moment. You touch your cosmic body. You touch eternity. There is no more restlessness, no more seeking. In Plum Village, that's where he was in Vietnam, in Plum churches, or even out of a telephone. As soon as we hear the sound of the bell, we take a moment simply to stop, relax, and breathe. Stop, relax. I'm touching the present moment right now. So you picked 88 because you need to stop, relax, and breathe. And then we come back to ourselves into the present moment. So if we're talking, stop talking. If we're walking, stop walking. If we're carrying something, put it down. We return to our breathing and arrive in our body in the here and now. We relax and just enjoy listening to the sound of the bell. So let's do that, everybody. Let's do that. Great pick, by the way, Colleen. Nice job. Way to use your intuition to pick page 88. I haven't read that part in a while. And that's a great reminder for me and everybody on the show. So Kathleen, you're on deck, followed by Nikki, followed by Erica. But let's do this. I'm going to change my sound quality real quick, something I figured out. I want everybody just to stop what you're doing. Stop. Don't stop, drop, and roll. You're not on fire. But stop what you're doing. I'm changing my sound, and I'm going to actually play a bell for you. And when I play that bell for you, we're going to stop, relax, and breathe. You ready? Here we go. Now, how freaking cool was that? And we'll finish off with the singing bowl. All right. Hopefully that didn't overpower you. I've learned how to adjust my sounds working with instruments. So let me know if that was if that came through audibly or not. So I'm curious. All right, Kathleen, what do you have, my friend? You pick with the deck. Okay. Let's go to the I allow deck because there's, based on relationships, obviously it's what you're allowing. Because with relationships, we have to allow and not allow certain things, right? It's the tango, right? It's the yin and the yang when it comes to relationships. But just as a reminder, Kathleen, not just relationships with you and others, but relationship with yourself and your higher self, right? So go ahead and when you, hey, John, when you hear the word stop in your mind, Kathleen, go ahead and type it in. Comments are slow, it seems. Okay, so they are slow. Okay. Hi, Kara. There is a bit of delay on my end. Okay, sorry. So be patient with me. Technology, vibrations, frequency. So Kathleen is up. Yeah, delay here to a hit. Okay, a bit. Okay. Colleen says, absolutely love it. Awesome. Hi, Hamza. Lovely, lovely. Okay. So Nikki, you're on deck. So let me know what you want, Nikki, Jacob. And then Kathleen, here's your deck. When you're ready, type in stop. I guess there is some delays. So oh, stop. There you go. Just came in. All right, here's your card for relationships. I allow myself to have personal boundaries. Oh, interesting. Now it's interesting because on the gate, there's a heart, lock the heart, the mask. Sometimes we wear masks in relationships. What's behind the golden throne here, the golden chair. But it's saying for your question specifically, based on your free will and choice that you just chose, you said, I am going to allow myself to have personal boundaries. Does that make sense, Kathleen? Again, there's a heart on the lock. There's literally a heart on the gate. So I'm not sure what that transcribes or translates to you, but it's an interesting card that you picked, right? Synchronicities and coincidences, right? I always say that's God's way of remaining anonymous, or universe, or spirit, whatever you want to call it, right? So Kathleen, does that make sense? All right, Nikki, you're up. Erica, you're on deck. So let me know what tools you want to use. You want to come to the Zoom room, call, decks, book, ask me a question. I can use my own intuition. I'm a tool. I can say I'm a tool too, right? So I have many different faculties. Just like a carpenter has tools, just like a plumber has tools, just like an electrician has tools, as a spiritualist, as a psychic, as a medium, we all have tools that we can access. Again, today's conversation was, we don't discover knowledge, we tune in and then we create from the knowledge that we have actually tuned in and connected to. And that's what the tools represent too. Pendulums, I've got dowsing rods. I can use a pendulum to answer yes and no questions, dowsing rods to answer yes and no questions. We have all sorts of tools. So Nikki Jacobs, you are up. Cards of your choice, whatever comes through. Okay. And then Erica, you're on deck. So let me know, Erica, what you want. And again, I'm going to go 10 more minutes. If you want to come in the Zoom room or call me, the number is up above in the comments, or if my moderators want to grab that. If you have a question, I know Colleen's on, so she can help you out as well. I don't think Jane's on, but they can help you with your comments, because we get a lot of comments with, going for an hour or so. Okay. So card deck for you, Nikki. All right. So start setting your intention. I'm going to pick this deck. This deck is really calling to me. This is the atom, the energy, right? So we're going to set the intent to create the answers that we're looking for. Intention to ascension. Intention to ascension. All right. So when you're ready, Nikki, and then Erica, you're on deck. Let me know what you want, Erica. All right. Deck is going. When you're ready, type in stop. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll just keep shuffling. But as soon as you hear the word stop, type it onto the keyboard and hit enter. And that's us working together in a digital construct, right? That's almost a quantum. We're starting to move into the quantum from 3D to 4D because we're working together. I have the materials here. You have the free will and choice there. And then together we connect through energy and frequency vibration. So, and then Erica, what would you like while I'm shuffling? This is for Nikki. Whatever comes through. Open, stop. Thank you, dear. Here's your card. Let me put the deck back. And then Erica, you're on deck. And then anybody else, if I missed somebody, I apologize. Again, there's delay, the algorithms, the feed. So I've got Nikki, Erica, and then I believe we have an open spot. So Erica says deck your choice. All right, Erica. So here you go. This is for Nikki Jacobs, one of my, thanks for following. Thanks for being here. Thanks for playing on Friday. Play. It's funny. I just said play, playing on Friday. All right. So what does this card mean for you? This could be subjective, Nikki, but play means, let things go. Buddha reminds us, you got to let that shit go, right? So go out and play out in the universe, play out in nature, go play, go be a kid and put your hands into dirt. Like I used to I don't used to eat dirt. I used to put my hands in dirt. I don't know. My mom could probably validate if I ate dirt or not. I know I probably ate crayons at some point. I think you're all kind of curious, like, hey, what's this taste like? But go connect to earth, go play in the forest, go play in the water, go do something that allows you to connect to your inner child is what I would say for you today, Nikki. connect to that inner wisdom, that inner child. And when we let go, and I was just having a really in-depth conversation with my wife about this, it's at the point, Marley talked about this, it's at the point when you realize that you don't need anything, that you gain everything. So when you go play, you one, get out of your mindset, you're connecting for your energy and your nervous system and your adrenals. So go play, or play music, play a song and dance right there where you're at. Play a song that you love and just let that energy go, create that energy. Does that make sense, Nikki? Hey, Lisa, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, if you're new to the show, please say that you're new and where you're from. We'd love to give you a shout out. Again, if you want to learn more, you can go to marclainhart.com, internet, search the Intuitive Prospector. You can find all of what I'm doing, podcasting, writing, consulting, shows, all sorts of good stuff. Events coming up. There are events coming up. I just completed my masterclass on manifesting. If you want to get that link, that's at marclainhart.com under the events section. I got my April event coming up at the Conscious Wellness Expo. And then I'm going to be creating the Experience the Etheric very soon for my subscribers. So another reason to be a subscriber, but I will be commenting on that. So for you, Erica, I'm going with the Louise Hay deck, which is based all on thoughts. So you know the drill. You got about 10 seconds. When you're ready, get on your keyboard, type in the word stop. And when you hear the word stop, hit that enter button. So you already have stop already written out for everybody else. Write stop. And when you hear it go stop, hit enter on your keyboard. And that's the card we'll talk about. All right. All right, Erica, when you're ready. I'm shuffling now. Here we go. Working together in the fourth dimensional construct through the digital universe. I've got the cards here. You got the thought there and free will and choice there. You're going to type in stop, hit enter when you're ready. Stop. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well done. Well done. All right. Your card today, I forgive myself. Aww. All right, Erica. Not sure what that means, but I want you to say it to yourself 3 times. I believe in the power of 3. I believed in the power of 3 long before I became a spiritualist from my days as a professional. In my former life, I was a professional first responder, EMT, firefighter, and we always saw the pattern of 3. Things would happen in 3s. And that's when I became a big believer in the power of the universe and the power of 3. And then spirituality just backed that. So I want you to say this to yourself 3 times. I forgive myself. Anybody else can do this with us. You can do this exercise. It's always important. Self-talk. I'm thinking of a Saturday Night Live spoof where you looked in the mirror, you'd be like, and gosh darn it, people really do love me. This is self-talk. This is you saying to yourself, I forgive myself, I forgive myself, I forgive myself. Stop, relax, taking that breath that we just pulled from the book reading. That's the present moment. I forgive myself. And it says this, as I forgive myself, I leave behind all feelings of not being good enough, and I'm free to love myself. As I forgive myself, I leave behind all feelings of not being good enough, and I'm free to love myself. Beautiful card for you, Eric. I hope that resonates. Oh, that hits home with my health healing journey. Well, we'll hold space for you as well. We can always hold space for others. Distance healing is a thing because, again, healing is not constrained by the space because healing is a vibration. It's a frequency, and that is not limited by walls, is what I'm saying. So I hope you feel better, and we'll hold space. If anybody wants to throw some hearts up for Erica and her healing journey, please do so. That shows that other people care. Compassion, empathy, very strong, very part of the wider evolution of who we are. Nikki says, means I've got to go garden or for a walk. Love that song idea. Thank you. And just had an ear pitch. It was like what you said. You're welcome, Nikki. The ear pitch is the download. Just so you know, when you get an ear pitch, well, go get your ears checked, of course, if you're having constant. But for me, I will get that hype. It's a download because you're connecting to the knowledge that I talked about. We're not creating the knowledge. We're discovering the knowledge, and then we create from the knowledge that we have connected and download to. And that can come in the right ear. Again, it comes in the right side because the left side is more of the analytical, logical, reasoning, ego mind. The right is more of what Einstein talked about, the creative, connective, universal power of knowledge and resource. So if you get in the right ear for you, Nikki, that's the download. So take that and yeah, go do your garden. I gotta repair my garden as we get into the warmer months here, but enjoy or go for a walk. All right. Erica says thank you so much. You're welcome. All right. So I believe I've gotten to everybody. Again, last call. If I missed you, I apologize. If I did miss you, go ahead and put the bump with a star and then your question again, and I can get to you. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to the badge followers. It means that you're joining me. You're joining me every Friday, and you're enjoying the journey. So, all right. So last call, Zoom room. You want to come in the Zoom room? Give me a call on my business line, 206-588-0661. That will ring right here. I will turn the volume up now. And Zoom room is open. Hi, Mikhail. All right. Any other questions? Nice job on the number. Yeah, this is from Les Mis. That was his number. Hi, Annette. Thanks for the hearts. Again, if you want to make a donation, you can be a star sender too. That helps buy me coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. You guys like my cup? That's from Rosalind. This is the Bigfoot Rosalind mug. So. Gotta get the stuff off my nose. Hi, Morton. All right, you got 1 minute. We got 1 minute to 11:30. So if you want to get a reading, this is the time. Now is the time. Doors are closing. Zoom room, phone line, comment. If you want a reading, comment what you want. Cards, book. You can ask me straight up question. You may not have noticed, but off my right shoulder, there's a meter that sits back here. I actually keep that on during my shows or during my readings because it's a multimeter, so it measures energy, and sometimes you may see that light flicker. That means that there is energy present. Again, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And that's another, I keep that now right behind me intentionally. So if anybody ever sees us during a show and saying, hey, that's lighting up, I may not catch it because I'm so in tune and focused with what I'm doing. But that's in my Prospector bowl with all the crystals, and now it's got a multimeter that measures energy. And we've had it go a couple times, so it's very, very, very interesting. It lets me know that energy is also in the space. And again, not energy to be fear-based, not what you see in a Hollywood movie. I'm not possessed. I'm not evil or demonic. It's just connecting to source. It's connecting to something that we don't see here, but we can see here, we can feel here, and we can know down here in our solar plexus. That's all. Very, very, very easy. All right, Kara. Deck 8, card 8. You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so you got the Rumi deck today. This is a very knowledgeable deck, right? All right, Kara, when you're ready. Oh, no, you want card 8. My bad. Let me shuffle real quick. All right, you want card 8. We'll do card 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here's your card. This is a very cool card. Look at that. The power within. Look at that. That is I don't know if I've pulled this card before. So give me a sec. I'll read it to you. And then last call. So Kara's is the last one, unless somebody comes in right at. If you get a comment in, I'll do one more reading, and then I got to go. All right. So here's your card, and it's called the Dissolving Light, and I'll read it to you. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less by dying? Oh man, that is some diamonds right there. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less for dying? There is something unworthy of you that must be released. Give up the fears and doubts, the belief that somehow things are not going to work out. You are meant to be free in a way that only truth can provide. Ooh. Shake that off. That is some deep knowledge right there, my friend. And that goes for everybody. That message could apply to myself, to everybody in the room watching, contributing today in community, unity through community. Whew. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less by dying? Man. Ooh, I might keep that. That's a good topic to talk about. All right. Hi, Bajorka Barlose Dam. So welcome. If you're new to the show, let us know where you're coming in from, because we have global audience. Yeah, Erica, right? Whoa. I'm still kind of like resonating with that message. Like, geez, again, this is knowledge that we just tapped into. So that goes on my conversation today. We just tapped into some wisdom and knowledge that's been there. Rumi goes back to the 12th century. He was a mystic and a poet, right? So we just tapped into knowledge. Now I can take that message and I can create an article. I could create a podcast. I could create another show based on that content alone. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less for dying? When was I ever less for dying? I am going to do something with this. So I'm going to create based on the Eureka connection we just had of accessing that knowledge. The card that was created from a poet in the 12th century. Boom. All right. Last call. Signing off. So we're 3 minutes over. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. My YouTube channel will have the latest episode. Hopefully I can get to it this afternoon. I'm working on my next Soul Adventures newsletter. If you want to get on that newsletter, if you want to book a consult, I offer services that range from sound healing, sound baths in person to online, to 30 minutes to 60 minutes. If you've had a 1-hour session with me in the new year, then you can do follow-up sessions with me and I have a follow-up session coming up with a client next week. And then I'll be back next Friday for another Metaphysical Meetup with Marc here live on the Intuitive Prospector page. You can also catch my other channels through marclainhart.com, TikTok, Instagram. I'll be doing more shifting now that TikTok's staying around. I may shift more to the TikTok channel to do more content there. And I will be rolling out my Experience the Etheric workshop on how to do everything that we've talked about today, how to experience it, how to feel it, how to know it, how to realization, how to bring it into your awareness, how to manifest. I'm going to probably start that in March now that I've had some time to really carve out. And it'll probably be, I'm thinking of Monday night, I'll do a short show on my channel and for my subscribers. And then we'll actually have a Zoom room where you'll actually come in and we can do that. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all of you. Take it one day at a time. Like what you heard earlier, with all of the chaos going around us, there is a lot. There's more to come. Sorry, I hate to break the news to you, but there's just more chaos and energy coming down the pike. So observe it, don't absorb it is what I'd recommend. And again, do it like Thich Nhat Hanh just reminded us. Stop, relax, breathe, move into that present moment. Stop, relax, breathe, move into the present moment. So until our next soul adventure together, be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live, and discover the diamond within. And I'll see you next time here on Metaphysical Meetup with Marc Live. Take care, everybody.
One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Marc's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. For more information on Marc's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marclainhart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector.